Hey family, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Karaya, your favorite virtual homegirl, and today I want to dive into something that might step on a few toes, but I promise it's going to set somebody free. The topic is not everyone deserves access to you. Now, I know some of you guys are natural givers. You pour into people, you answer every phone call, you show up for every event. You loan money. You listen to everybody's problems at 2 a.m. in the morning, even when your own soul is tired. But here's the truth. Just because you're available doesn't mean you have to be accessible to everybody. I'm about to share some personal stories, some lessons, and some real talk that's going to bless you today. So get comfortable, grab your tea, because this one is going to be juicy. Think about it. You only get 24 hours in a day, and your energy is like a bank account. Every text, every favor, every conversation, it's like someone's making a withdrawal. If you're not careful, you'll be walking around overdrafted in your spirit. I remember when I was younger, I had this friend. Let's call her Tasha. Now, Tasha loved drama. I'm talking about she would call me at midnight crying about the same man she swore she was done with 2 weeks ago. And guess what? I would sit there half asleep, giving her advice, letting her cry it out. But here's the kicker. She never took my advice, ever. One day, after the 100th call, I had to check myself. I realized I was giving prime access to someone who didn't even value my energy. I was letting her drain me. And for what? She wasn't growing and I was suffering. That's when I learned access to me is a privilege, not a right. Some people only want access for what you can do for them, not who you are. There was this old coworker I had. Let's call him Mike. Every time I saw his name pop up on my phone, I knew it wasn't a, hey, how are you? It was always, hey, can you hook me up with this? Or can you help me with that? He only reached out when he needed something, never checked on me, never asked how my family was doing, never congratulated me on my wins. And for a long time, I allowed it until one day I stopped responding. And guess what? When I stopped being convenient for him, he disappeared. That's when I realized he never wanted a friendship. He wanted access to my usefulness. You gotta ask yourself, are they here for me or for what I can do for them? When you let everybody have access to you, you actually cheapen yourself. Diamonds are rare, and that's why they're valuable. If diamonds are laying around on every street corner, they wouldn't be worth much. There was a season in my life I was too available. My phone was always on loud. I answered texts right away. I said yes to every favor, even when I was exhausted. And guess what? People started taking me for granted. One time, I was helping somebody move. I showed up early, brought my car, packed boxes, and stayed late. When I finally sat down, drained, this person had the audacity to say, you could have helped more if you weren't on your phone so much. I almost lost it, but that moment showed me when you make yourself too available, people stop appreciating your sacrifice. Overexposure makes people forget your value. That's why you have to limit access. Not everybody should get VIP passes to your life. God didn't call you to be everything for everybody. He called you to walk in purpose. And sometimes You can't hear his voice clearly when you're drowning in noise from people who don't even care about your growth. I will never forget when I decided to set boundaries with my family. Yes, my family. There was a point where I was saying yes to everything: babysitting, lending money, running errands, because I didn't want to seem selfish. But the truth is, it was pulling me away from my own dreams. One day, I said no, and oh, the guilt trip came. You've changed. You're acting brand new. You're selfish. I was being strategic. If I kept pouring out and never pouring back into myself, I can't fulfill what God has for me. That's when I realized protecting my peace is protecting my purpose. So let's talk about solutions. How do you control who gets access to you? Number one, audit your circle. Pay attention to how you feel after you interact with someone. Do you feel drained or filled? That's your answer. Number two, stop over explaining. No is a complete sentence. You don't owe everybody a reason. Number three, differentiate levels of access. Some people can only get texts. Some can get calls. Some can see you in person. And only a select few deserve all three. Number four, set boundaries unapologetically. The people who love and respect you will adjust. The ones who only want to use you will leave. And that's a blessing, not a loss. So hear me today. Not everyone deserves access to you. Your time, your energy, your spirit, those are treasures. Stop handing them out like flyers on the street corner. Remember, even Jesus had levels of access. He preached to the multitudes, walked with 12, and then kept Peter, James, and John as his inner circle. If Jesus himself didn't give everyone the same level of access, why should you? So start today. I dare you. Audit your life. Close some doors. Change some locks. Protect your peace. Because the truth is, your future, your calling, and your sanity depends on it. Family, I want you to say this with me. Access to me is earned, not given. I love you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.